Warning, the following is a long list of warnings. If warnings offend you, do not watch this show. Warning, this show contains adult themes. If you are not an adult, do not watch this show. Warning, this show contains a lot of offensive language and may contain graphic content. If you're a Karen, do not watch this show. Warning, this show may contain shabby impersonations of celebrities. If you are a celebrity, represent one, or think this is unfair, do not watch this show. Warning, this show contains what could be seen as controversial and subversive ideas and opinions. If you can't handle differing opinions, do not watch this show. Warning, this show actively shows the consumption of tobacco, cannabis and alcohol. If this offends you, do not watch this show. Warning, this show may discuss topics including, but not limited to, those in the realm of politics and conspiracy theories in a politically incorrect format. If these topics offend you or make you uneasy, please do not watch this show. Warning, the producers of this show will do almost anything for a laugh. If comedy or extreme comedic premises offend you, please do not watch this show. The opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the producers, affiliates, ISPs, streaming platforms, advertisers, partners or alike.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location inside the beautiful land of the Blackfoot Confederacy and Treaty 7 territory, Big Nate Productions presents Getting Late with Nate.
Hey everybody, how's it going this evening? Friday night, February, it's warmed up. It's not so minus 20, 30 anymore. We got a good show tonight. Had a couple really awesome interviews today. Nice to see everybody in the chat already. Thanks a lot. If you guys are enjoying this, I know most of you already are, but if you can share it with your friends and stuff, have them come check out this wacky ride we call Getting Late with Nate. I hope you're all doing well. My buddy Mike in the chat at the beginning there, he's like, getting late with Nate, but not too late to get into crypto, which is hilarious. Bitcoin hit $50,000 for one Bitcoin. That's super insane. Ethereum's at 2,000. It's just nuts. So anyways, I don't have any money to make into other money that could make me money. But I'm happy for all you game stoppers and you crypto freaks. Take it. Take it all. So I got to sit down with my pal Sam Walker. I met him through Jason Rouse, who's another stand-up comedian. And yeah, we had a good long conversation. Poor Sam, we did 15 minutes and then I fucking had the audio muted. So we had to do it over, kinda, sorta, but we ended up talking for a good half an hour. He's a really good guy. And go follow him at Sam Walker Live. And then after that, we're going to talk with my buddy Wally, and then later on, we're going to do some Nate's Memes of the Week. So, yeah, I'll see you in about, we talked for a long time, like I say, it says 33 minutes here, so see you soon. All right, hi, I'm here today with Sam Walker. How's it going, man?
Great to see you, Nate. Staying up late, I see.
I am. Thanks a lot. And it's good to see Keanu in the background there, too.
Sorry, the interview's here.
Right. Congratulations on your 6th Roast Battle Championship win.
Thank you very much. This is my 6th title reign, and I got to say this one was by far the sweetest. By far the sweetest. I just clinched the title this last Thursday, Brett Forte's roast battles at the Delta South Atrium, the only open concert venue in Canada, most of North America, actually. It's the only place you can do a live show. So it was surreal.
Is that where everybody's on their balconies and stuff, and you guys are all like out on the pool deck or something to that effect?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's 4 to a room, and then so you pay for the ticket and the hotel for the night. So it is a bit of a heftier price tag, but let me tell you, people were so happy to get out and be a part of this. It was quite the honor. Had a really good time, and there was a lot of people there. I don't know what the final count was, but 4 people on every balcony surrounding you on all sides. It was like the Roman Colosseum.
Yeah.
It was the blood sport.
Yeah, for sure.
It was.
So bring us, how did you get to Roast Battle Champion? Who do you want to talk about your long gone enemies, or what's the process to become champion?
This is the thing, is you gotta get in the pit, and you basically do a round robin tournament. And when we first started out, there were 8 comedians on the night, so it's like 4 different matchups that you had, and you only knew like your first matchup and then your potential second one, and then everybody after that. So quite a bit of writing was involved in it, as well as being able to not stutter on stage when you're mowing somebody down in front of their family, which has happened on numerous occasions. These rookies bring I'll invite my mom or my grandma to the roast battle. I'm going to be on stage. And then they go up against me, and I slaughter them.
You find out
there's
their mom's
one
there?
Comedian. Yeah, which makes it even better, but it's not an easy thing. Like, a lot of people have thin skin, and they aren't in it for the long haul. They go up there once, and then they have enough.
Yeah, I bet.
And they move on.
Do you see a lot of that in the roast battle thing?
I did. Like, back in the starting days, we had about everybody in Calgary and Edmonton. Anybody on the scene has participated in these. Sure. And some of them could hang. Others were just like a sacrificial lamb for a show, and then they moved on, which is fine. It's definitely not for everybody. And as we've refined the show and gone on, like I said, this is my 6th title reign, and I'll let you. Not a lot of people get this close to the belt, so I'll let you take a look at that there.
Ooh.
And then there's me on the side, and then we got, who else do we have here? We got Chandler Billinghurst and Sterling Scott versus Brett Forte.
Are those guys dead?
That was,
or did they just lose the battle?
Yeah, their pronouns are now was and were.
Oh.
They don't exist anymore in the scheme of things. We built it up to intercity. We were, before the plague came along here in 2020, we were doing interprovincial roast battles and starting to get a cross Canada following. Our next one was going to be out in Toronto.
Yeah.
And, everybody, 2020 was a rite of passage. Not everybody made it through that.
Interesting. I've been saying that, like the guys that were just dabbling and stuff, it seems like they've had to move or go do different things. Like, if you were not really committed and into something, there's all of a sudden a little bit more room.
Yeah. Well, now the appetite for entertainment is there. But now it's the ante is upped in the quality. You can't just go out there and put on an open mic show. If you're putting on a show, it's got to be pro quality all the way.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
A lot of dead brush has been burned out of the comedy scene. Like a lot of old, tired headliners, they're gone, never to be seen from again. They're finished. And then all the open mic guys, they're gone, they're done. And so what's left is basically the cream of the crop.
Interesting.
And yeah, Nate, you're looking at it.
Well, so as part of your strategy, do you find yourself being the heel, or do you go back and forth? Are you the good guy sometimes, or do you just go straight jerk constantly?
Well, I always write hard, and there have been times where I've written and gone like dialed it back, like no, that's a bit much. But you learn really quick when you're on that stage and you hit them with something and it doesn't go far enough, and you'll never make that mistake again. It's a constant writing process. Like it starts a month basically before the event when I find out who my opponents are going to be or potentials. And then it's a solid month of writing. And it's not like I'm done in 2 weeks. I got these all wrapped up and they're ready to go.
Yeah, that seems like even
writing,
even with all that research, you would still be finishing stuff off at the last minute and all this, right?
Oh yeah, to basically 15 minutes before showtime is when you're fine tuning your final roasts and whatnot. And if you don't do it, you die 1,000 deaths up there. Like what you're saying about, do people love me or hate me? It could go either way on any given night. There's been some nights where somebody's up there and they're dicking around. They aren't prepared and they didn't do their writing for me. And I've absolutely eviscerated them. There was one comedian up in, we did an intercity roast where we went up to Edmonton. We're at the comic strip at West Edmonton Mall. And the guy I was up against didn't do his homework. He thought wearing an Oilers cap would endear him enough to the crowd that he would win. And after 3 roasts, he tapped out. He was like, no, I'm done. And then I let him have it even harder. I asked those people in Edmonton, I drove all the way up here and I wrote these. Who the fuck wants to see me finish him off? And they all cheered. And I proceeded to humiliate him in front of his hometown.
Yeah, it truly is a blood sport, eh? The roast battle is the blood sport
comedy.
Of stand-up.
It is like, it's one thing with stand-up is that you can try out your jokes and polish them and work on them. But at a roast battle, there's only like a very select amount of people that get any input and I bounce my material off of before I do this. So it's not tested material.
Sure.
It's you're going in completely blind as to what's going to work and what's not going to. And that's the thing is, they hate me, then they love me, and then they hate me. It's a micro popularity contest, and so it can go either way at any moment. But I definitely lean on being the bad guy. Like I said, there was people that brought their family to this show, and I absolutely let them merciless. Their moms would have they probably hate me, but yeah, it's all part of the game, part of the show.
Well, interesting. So you were saying you started stand-up in 2015, and I was interested when I was surprised to learn that you have, and no offense, but that you have a background in theater and other arts. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Like my whole life, it was always good at public speaking and fun. Always the funniest guy at the barbecue with my friends and stuff like that. Always was always a bit of the class clown, but also deadly serious at times too. Like it wasn't just all like, hey, I had a mean streak in me as well, and a lot of edge, like everybody does. But it was always building towards this, and I always used to love making my friends laugh. And I got a video camera in like 2002 and started making my own films for just my friends. They'd come over and I'd show them what I'd shot, and then started entering into like film festivals and stuff like that.
Wow, cool.
Around like it's like 16 years ago now, man, but like 2005 Calgary International Film Festival.
Cool.
That was like the first time I submitted something, and then it just kept escalating from there. And then I got involved in the mid 2010s in community theater and stuff like that, and started performing, in local plays, and just had a really good time until I was at the end of my rope creatively.
Sure.
I'd gotten involved in a lot of projects that didn't get off the ground, and so stand-up was kind of the last great obstacle as an entertainer. Like it's one thing to be funny on a production reading somebody else's lines, but it's a completely different beast when you're going up there with your own words and living and dying by them, Daddy.
Yeah, no, very cool.
And I made my debut in 2015 at Comedy Monday Night at Broken City.
Awesome.
That was where I did my first set. And then from then on, it was just constantly on the grind at open mics. And about after a year in comedy, the powers that be caught me at these open mics and saw me and offered me spots on the road opening for comedians. And then I was in the money game. And then it was a big climb to get to headliner. But just last year, that was when it clicked. That was when I climbed my way to the top of the mountain, and then everything shut down basically as far as the whole comedy world. Doesn't even exist anymore. I've had to really reconcile with myself that everywhere that I've ever performed, every venue is more or less gone.
Yeah, it's
some
wild,
of them.
man.
Some of them are still around, but for the most part, they're all just gone now. And before the shutdown, though, I made it in. I recorded an album and filmed a comedy concert special. So it was 2 weeks before shutdown. Actually, almost a year ago to the day, February 28th, is when I did that. And that album will be coming out very soon.
Oh, interesting. Cool.
I wasn't in any rush to release it in the last year, just because it was, I don't want to sound conceited or anything, but it's probably the last real comedy album ever made, ever recorded.
Nice.
Because there's guys that have recorded albums since Corona came along, but you're never going to get the acoustics the same, because the spacing of the tables and the amount of people that are allowed in the clubs. You don't get that sound and that laughter anymore.
Yeah,
it's gone.
Yeah, it's half, which is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like whatever your shtick is, it's probably not going to fly nowadays from what you were doing 2 years ago, because people have a much meaner edge to them, and if they're going out, they don't want to hear dog and cat jokes. They don't want corporate CBC clean. They're looking to have somebody that's, ringing the bell and, got a sharp edge to them.
Yeah.
That's where I come in.
Nice. We have a mutual friend. He's also been a guest a couple times on this show, Jason Rouse. You got to tour.
The devil's jester himself.
Yeah.
I did. Well, the big victory for me was just getting to open for him. That was, I'd known about Jason and his comedy for 18 years before I actually got to meet him. And just through the way things work, Brett Forte was talking with the booker out east when he was in Toronto. And the booker was saying he was having trouble getting an opener for Jason Rouse. And Brett suggested, why don't you try Sam Walker? And I got the opportunity to open for him in Calgary. And we had 4 shows on the weekend. And we just hit it off. Like, we met in the green room, and I just knew there was kind of an immediacy to my communication with him. I let him know a few things that I don't just tell people that I've met for the first time, just in order to kind of, I guess, be vulnerable and let him know that I was legit. And then I don't think he even came out for my first set, but he heard the laughter from the green room. And then for the rest of the weekend, he was at the back of the room watching me. And then after that weekend, we kept in touch, and we've been, he changed my life. He opened a lot of doors for me. I got to ride in on his coattails, but I earned it in the end. And I got to, got to go on tour with him for 2 years.
Yeah, pretty much. It was Scandinavia and like lots of mainland Europe and stuff.
Yeah, we did Sweden and Denmark, and then all across Canada.
Yeah, right. Okay.
West Coast, and then did months out in Ontario, Toronto.
Cool.
And so I got to see it all. I got to meet them all. It was a storybook. It was really quite the adventure until travel got shut down.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this story, but pretty much the first time I met Rouse, my band, he contacted us, I think, and he wanted to jump on my band's show. Or it was somehow he contacted one of the bands. So it was an opener. They were called We Found the Body. And then Rouse did like an hour. And then we went on. And
they were ready to have their ears cleaned out. Eh?
Holy fuck. He destroyed. It was like the first time I'd seen him. And, but when my band was setting up, some fucking drunk Yahoo fucking whipped a bottle at us because they were all psyched up so much. So then my singer's all mad. He's like, give me your mic. Because this guy like whipped it and ran. And he's like, gotta find that motherfucker and fucking kill that motherfucker. And then
those are badges of honor.
Yeah, totally. That was like my first run-in with that was way back in like 2008 too.
Oh wow. Yeah. Wild man.
Yeah, totally. And then I put on Calgary Metal Fest, and he was the MC one year as well, in 2013.
Oh, right on. Yeah, man, I don't have any regrets in my life, but it's just I wish I could have been able to see some of this stuff, just even as a fan, just be in the audience.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Because you can't do it anymore. Like it's shut down.
Yeah, and who knows if it'll come back either. It's starting to get to that point now, right?
Yeah, it really is. It'll never come back to what it was. I watch a lot of wrestling and stuff like that. And I get a bit melancholy watching these things because you just watch like a Monday Night Raw from 2002, and there's 30,000 people packing out a dome somewhere.
Totally.
And the roar of the crowd and the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a long time before we even ever get close to something like that ever again. The powers that be don't like people getting together, and they especially don't like comedy because they can't control the laughter.
Fair enough.
And so it's there's insidious forces at work here. This isn't just conspiracy stuff. This is reality now. You know,
I agree.
This is the world I'm living in. Same as you.
Yeah, totally.
And people are itching to get together too. They'd love to go see the band come play. You'd have no problem selling it out now, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Well, it was nice when it opened up a bit there. I got to go to a comedy show. It was neat for a second. I think I saw you the last time Rouse was here.
Yeah, man, things were back rolling. Like, we were at reduced capacity, but we were selling it out. And like the Yucks venue, that's 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Christ, I'll take 100 people. That's no problem. It's not the 225 sellouts we used to have, but we made do with what we had, and we were back. I was regular booking, starting to booking flights to go do these. My dream had finally been affirmed, where I was getting a flight to some place, and Uber, and a Airbnb for the weekend to do shows, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
With a nice little payday at the end of the rainbow. It doesn't get better than that. And then second lockdown happened.
Yeah.
And we ain't getting out of this one. The way the rules are constructed, it's not going to happen.
Well, we'll see.
Anytime soon.
I was just in another interview, and this kind of came up, and maybe when it comes back, it'll whip back like a fucking rubber band really hard, and then everybody's going to be working like a motherfucker and demanding proper money. And because people,
Well,
like you say,
that's
people
always,
want it. People want it. There's going to be a demand for it.
Oh, there 100% is, but the way the rules keep changing, and they're changing on a daily basis. So right now, where comedy and concerts, or just even live performances, are at, is they're in where we are in Alberta, Canada. It's a tier 4, which means that there's got to be like less than 50 cases province wide for a 3-week stretch. After we've gone through, we're in tier 1 again, where the restaurants and bars are open. At reduced capacity, and then you get tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. It's like chasing this roast battle title, man. A lot of things got to come together for it to happen.
Yeah.
And when it does, I'll be ready. But right now, it's just kind of try and get some content going online and keep things loose and fun that way. Because being in the crowd, it just can't happen right now.
Mm-hmm. It was almost a year ago when I saw you at Kill Tony in Calgary.
Yeah, that was one of the major turning points in my life. That let me tell you, 2020 was starting out as a rocket ride, because I did that show January 23rd. I got my shot on Kill Tony, and Rouse had told me about it. Like, he was like, "Come down to LA and do Kill Tony." And when I found out they were coming to Calgary, I just showed up at the show. I didn't even have a ticket, and luckily the manager sold me one. And then, pardon me, just because you buy a ticket doesn't mean you're on the show. You got to put your name in a bucket.
Yeah.
And my name was put in the bucket, and there's like 100 names in that thing, man. And
Totally.
I didn't doubt for 1 second. Not 1 second did I doubt that I wasn't getting up.
Yeah,
And
you just knew
I made
the
sure
universe.
the guy that the guy I was sitting with was like, make sure Sam's sitting on the outside chair so that he can get out and get to the stage as quickly as possible, because he knew it was happening too.
Yeah.
And then when he called my name, I went up there and did my minute. And in my research, I'd been watching Kill Tony, and he was eviscerating the guys that came on stage. Like, all these guys got to do is a minute, 1 minute of material. And they go up there, especially in LA, these guys that go up there and just shit the bed. This is your one chance at the big time. Your one chance. And they'd absolutely blow it. And then you got Tony Hinchcliffe and Brian Redband, and then whoever monster comedian of the week was. It could be anyone from Bill Burr to Joe Rogan is sitting up there too. And they critique your 1 minute set. And they just laid waste to these guys. And so I went up there very, very confrontational. Like, I was of the mindset of like, if these guys start giving it to me, at the time I was a 5-time roast battle champion, I'm gonna cause a scene up there, and I'm gonna make my mark, whether they like it or not. But as it turns out, I had probably one of the best sets in Kill Tony history. And then, as well as a killer interview, I ended up getting probably 6 or 7 minutes up there.
Yeah, totally.
And it just all flowed. And Tony asked if I wanted to open for him that weekend.
Right. Yeah.
And
That's so cool.
I got to open for him and Jeremiah Watkins, and we had a hell of a show, hell of a time.
Yeah, very cool.
And then I got to go to Vancouver in February. I think it was like February 22nd of last year.
Right.
I got to go to JFL Northwest just for laughs.
And they were doing a Kill Tony there, right?
They were doing a Kill Tony at the Vogue Theater on Granville.
Right.
Sold out, 1,300 people, and he brought me on as a special guest.
That's awesome.
And I had another killer set. Yeah, it was magical. And then I'm off at the JFL parties and getting kicked out thanks to Brett Forte. But I did get to have my cup of coffee in the big time there. And it was Storybook. And then February 28th, I recorded my album. And then 2 weeks later, everything was locked down. That was the first lockdown.
Yeah, for sure.
So
with that night in particular of the Kill Tony in January there, my friend came out from Saskatoon to see, because we're both huge fans, listened for years, and he's a drummer.
Yeah.
And he's one of the sickest.
Graham.
Yeah, he's one of the sickest drummers ever. And we were hanging out the night before, and I was like, dude, you're going to get up there and you're going to do this. You know this, right? And he's like, I totally know it. I totally know it. And fucking sure enough, he's like, I even have a cheesy minute. I know they're going to shit on me for it. And he destroyed Joelberg. I'm sorry. Like, go watch the tape.
Dude. Yeah,
destroyed him.
It was great. If you go through the comments of that episode, it's they're resoundingly behind Graham. He was awesome. That was a real highlight of that show.
Yeah,
was watching him tear up them skins.
yeah, there was definitely some magic going on that night. That's for sure.
Yeah, it really was, and like I said, 2020 was a rite of passage. Not everybody made it through on that.
Sure.
Or is going to make it through 2021. So it was, a nice, if I never get to the momentum I had going into that, I'll always have my Kill Tony.
Yeah, no.
My two Kill Tonys.
I know you don't think it'll come back. I know you don't think it'll come back, but I think it will, and we'll see Sam Walker rise again.
Well, Nate, I appreciate your attitude. It's important to have a good attitude in this day and age, because everybody got fucked in 2020. It's not just like, oh, I could have been a even bigger star in the comedy world.
For sure.
It's what happened, and I know I'll surf those waves again.
Yeah, for sure.
For
sure.
Funny doesn't have an expiry date, and I got to defend my title, so I'm going to be continuously writing and researching my opponents. I got a file open on. If you're a comedian in North America, I have a file open on you, and there's constant writing. It never ends. So I'm ready for the next one, whenever that may be. And once shows are up and running, I'd love to see you out in public.
Yeah, no doubt. That'd be
show.
Neat. Cool. Can we
maybe I could open for your band next time.
That would be awesome. I would love that.
Dude.
Can you talk more about, do you feel like talking more about the special that you filmed?
Yeah, for sure. It was actually in, I'm running out of battery here.
Oh shit. Okay.
It was, basically, I'd been working towards this since I started my first 5 minutes 5 years ago, was refining, a headliner set, which is 45 to an hour.
Sure. Okay.
And like with the momentum I had in January, it was just, I'd set it up with Yuck Yucks, where I got the Friday night late show. And I'm like, well, if I'm doing the late show, I might as well record an album, because this is like my first time getting to headline my home club and pack it out. Like, tickets were selling really good, so I knew it was going to be a hell of a show. And it's like, well, I might as well record the album. And then, with the album, I'm recording the album, I might as well film it. and there was a production company that had been following us around and shooting stuff, and they ended up doing a really nice job filming it. But I don't know when that footage is going to ever see the light of day, but the album is definitely on its way out.
Yeah, very cool.
It's called Sam Walker, Barely Illegal. And it'll be streaming across all platforms. And I'm looking to get it playing on the comedy radio stations. That's the next goal, is to get these jokes out there. And these are things that I wrote, like some of my first 5 minutes made it into the album.
Very cool. Well, that's good writing, man.
Yeah, it's come. It came a long way, and I got a lot. Like since I recorded that album, I've been just basically doing headline sets, and those are like an hour long, and I got gas in the tank, man. Like, give me another year, and I'll be ready to record another one.
Have you been fucking around with this Zoom stuff? I see some comedians are doing this. Have you gotten hired for any of those gigs?
Man.
What's going on there?
I would never do. I'd never do. I got offered to do them at the beginning of the lockdown, and just watching other people's experiences on them and the way it goes, it was cringe inducing.
Yeah,
and I couldn't do it. Like, this is fine, having like a round table discussion with a few other people.
Sure.
You can have some jokes and do some stuff, but there's no way that I'm sitting up here with a microphone, trying to make a bunch of screens laugh. Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And I won't do those unless you pay me money, and then I would. But there's no company cool enough to do a corporate Sam Walker show. Not even Elon Musk.
Oh, that would win. The challenge is out there, Elon. He just calls you up. How about $1 million and I send the jet? Yeah, okay. Awesome. Well, hey, man, thanks so much for your time here tonight. Much appreciated.
Oh, Nate, it was a pleasure. So good to see your face. You're looking great. I was hoping that beard wasn't getting all wispy on me, but you're looking strong, Daddy.
Well, thank you, dude. You too.
I can't wait to see you in person.
Yeah, and where should people go check you out? Do you have a website, or is it Instagram? Where we have your Instagram up on the screen there, but
yeah, samwalkerlive.com, and then Sam Walker Live across all social media platforms. That's if you want to get a hold of me, book me for a private show. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me.
Cool.
And stay tuned, because there's a lot more coming. I'm just getting started. I got some exciting projects in the work here, and I'm looking to just bring laughter to the darkest corners of the world.
Hell yeah, man. The reigning champion, Sam Walker. Peace.
Yeah. Cheers, Nate. Safe travels. I'll see you soon.
Hell yeah. He's a good ass time. Shout out to Sam Walker. Thanks so much for coming on. Man, he's dirty. Go check his comedy out too. It's funny, especially there's a lot of roast battle stuff up on YouTube. Yeah, he's it's funny. Again, I was saying in the chat here, he's like the only guy that could open for Rouse. I don't know who else. I mean, anyways, I don't know who else. Very cool. So, then, this past week, I was invited to be on Wicked Wally's Webcast. And I don't often get asked to be a guest. So I thought I would reciprocate the same thing to him. And he said, I've never been interviewed before. So check out my interview with Wicked Wally. See you in a minute. Hi, everybody. I'm here today with Wicked Wally. How's it going, man?
I'm doing great, Nate. Yeah, I'm doing awesome. Actually, you know what? To be honest, I was having a shitty day.
Yeah?
until right now. Yeah, my day wasn't the best, but I got a second wind, and I'm excited to talk to you. I've never been interviewed before, so this is exciting for me.
Very cool. Well, I kind of wanted to do a swap cast with you. I was on your show this week, the Wicked Wally Webcast.
Right? That was a blast.
It was. I love it. And it got the whole live aspect going on there. Can you tell the people if they haven't seen it, what to expect on the Wicked Wally Webcast?
Yeah, I was, a little bit of a background. I was on the radio for 3 years, community radio, CJSW. I had a hard rock heavy metal show. It's still running. My previous co-host is still running it, but called Rock Bottom. And when doing that show, it was mostly a music show. I did have interviews, but I found over time the most fun was the interviews. I loved talking to people. I love talking to creative people, picking their brain, putting people on the spot, which is what you're probably going to do for me today. And that's the part I like the most. So I honestly say, like, I'm in my studio right now. If you want to get an idea what it's like, honestly, I guess I'm kind of modeling after the Joe Rogan formula. Basically, sure. It's a long form podcast, but it's video based. So if I can actually show you right now, I'm in my studio. So here I'm in the studio. I built this studio in my home.
Very nice.
And yeah. So it's a long form. We have different guests that come into the show. Right now, it's all remote because of COVID.
Of course.
So it's all remote right now. I do have some co-hosts. I have 3 amazing co-hosts that give color commentary, that are experts in different types of metal, their own genres of metal. Vito likes power metal and stoner rock. My other co-host, Jason, he's big into industrial metal. He loves gent. He likes a lot of modern melodic metal. And then Montana, who's big into thrash metal, death metal, black metal. So I have different experts. I wouldn't say experts, but fans of the different genres who join me as well. And yeah, we've been having a blast so far. I think episode number 16, it was the one that you were on. So I do the show almost every week. It's live on Wednesdays. And yeah, it's just long form. We pull up embarrassing stuff from social media. So we talk about, the music. We also go on tangents. We talk about things in people's personal lives. We talk about wherever the conversation leads. So a lot of people who've watched the show said, I'm not necessarily a metalhead, but I still enjoy the banter. I enjoy the talk. I enjoy the conversation. So yeah, that's what it is. A live long form talk show about hard rock, heavy metal, talking to really cool creative artists.
Awesome. Yeah. And I will also say, like I said on the show last night, really well put together. Is that you doing all those graphics? Just wondering real quick.
That's a good question. So, like, for example, what you're talking about, like the intro and all that kind of stuff? Yeah. Yeah, you can't quite see it in this because it's cut off, but my logo, there's the logo, the Wicked Wally logo. I wonder where I can pull that up here. Here, if I do this, you can probably see it there. You can see the logo in the corner with my name. So that little logo, the logo there with Wicked Wally Webcast, the font in that, I did pay someone for that. I didn't create that myself. I have a rough kind of crappy drawing of what I wanted, and then I got an artist from Indonesia to make that look better. The theme music for the show, which is kick-ass, is by Tyler Corbett. So you know Tyler.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. The name definitely rings a bell. What
he's the Osiren. So he's the bass player, and he does all the mixing for Osiren. He mixed Red Kane's most recent album, and he also has a solo work as well. He's a very talented young music producer in the city, and he's getting more and more work. He's getting more and more well known. Very talented. So I reached out to him, and he put together a kick-ass theme song. So those pieces I cannot take any credit for whatsoever. But everything else you see, like there's borders, there's the different camera angles. So like if we go to here, we have different camera angles, all this kind of stuff. Mostly me I put together. There we go. Now I'm showing you all my stuff. So yeah, I put a lot of this together.
Like the lower
on my own.
Yeah, like you were just showing what they call the lower thirds, like this thing that just popped out under there. But your vision, you did put all that kind of fancy broadcast stuff together.
Yeah, some of the animations I use a third-party app for, and I kind of use some of their templates, and then just modified it to make it more the style I was going for. So I did use some templates when I put some of the stuff together, but a lot of it, yeah, I just drew it all out. I had a notepad. Even this studio, it was like on graph paper, and I measured the room out. So the studio right now, I'll go back to the studio. So even the studio, that the way it looks, where the sign is, where the lights are, I drew this all out and I planned it. So it actually looks almost exactly how I envisioned it to look. So been pretty happy with it. Yeah, you probably know because we use similar tools for our shows. You use Streamlabs, and what I noticed right away is there's a lot of you can buy templates, you can buy views and templates, but nothing fit this kind of format. Like nothing set up for like a long form podcast. And like if I want to like share things on a web browser, I want to do views like this. There was just nothing really that fit my vision, that fit what I was thinking, what I wanted to do. So that's why I just like fuck it. I'm making my own, and I think I just hammered it out most of it out in like a weekend, and then I've been tweaking with it ever since. So
cool.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, you're from Kenora, Saskatchewan, and so what brought you to Calgary? Is like how long you been in Calgary for?
You mentioned this a little bit before we started the interview. I'm shocked you're asking me about Kenora. So it's a small town in Saskatchewan, mostly Ukrainian population. And I just came to Alberta for school, for work. I first moved to Medicine Hat. That's actually where I met a good buddy of mine. A shout out to my buddy Nathan. He is the person who got me into heavier metal. I liked a little bit of metal before then, but it wasn't until my first year of college he got me into more obscure stuff, a lot of more European metal. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be the metalhead I am today. So thanks to him. And then I Medicine Hat College, and then I went to school here in Calgary, got a job. This is not my job, obviously. This makes no money right now, but I love it. I just came here for school and started working, stayed here. But Kenora is not a metal place whatsoever. So It's all country music. When I moved away, we had just gotten an FM station that played something other than country music. It was either AM radio with country music or oldies. That's all we had access to. We didn't even have much music. So it was only like CMT on the television, on the cable television. So it was all country music. So that's why I just can't stand country music.
Fair enough. Where geographically in Saskatchewan is it?
Close to the Manitoba border, kind of like middle, kind of center of the province, close to the Manitoba border.
So not
too far from
Roblin?
No, not far from Roblin. Yeah, not too far from Roblin.
Yeah.
It's close to Yorkton. Yorkton.
Yeah, Roblin's on the Manitoba side, and then Yorkton's on the Saskatchewan side, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was born in Yorkton, actually.
Wow.
So
my old band,
old
band from like 2004, we played in Roblin, Manitoba, in front of 400 people.
Oh, okay. How was that? Was there is a metal band?
Yeah, we were a full bore metal band. Yeah, maybe it was 2005. 06.
Was there enough metalheads in Roblin if we said 400 people? That's pretty impressive, actually.
It was, but our singer's dad owned the Ford dealership, so I think he just threw us in the radio commercials, like threw us an ad. So like everybody within 100 miles knew. So anybody who even thought of liking metal showed up.
That's sweet, man.
Yeah, it was fun. Awesome. So, what year did you come out here then? Sorry, did you say that already, or?
No, I didn't. Moved to Alberta in 2002, and then Calgary 2 years after that. So I think 2004. So I've been here ever since.
Yeah, cool.
Pretty much a Calgarian now. This feels like home now, for sure.
So, did you get into rock bottom and having the terrestrial radio show? Is that what you studied coming out here, or was this something you pursued because you really like it, or how'd that work?
This is I like telling this story. I've told it on my radio show before, because you would think like I had it in because I went to school there, but No, not at all. Not at all. I wanted to be on the radio back in high school. That's where this interest started for me. I wanted to be on the radio. That's what I wanted to do for a career, for a living. And they had this career fair in Yorkton, Saskatchewan. They had this career fair where all the small towns from the surrounding area came into the city, came to this career fair. And there was the radio station covering this career fair. They just happened to be there covering it, not as, do radio as a career. They had, whatever, engineering and
Sure.
IT and whatever, right? So they were there covering the event, and I said, hey, this is what I want to do for a living. And I can't remember the guy's name now because it's so long ago, but it was one of the local DJs. And of the FM station that just opened up, just started maybe my second last year of high school, the new FM station. And he's like the second biggest DJ on that station. And I said, yeah, I want to do this. And he said to me, are you good in school? And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm quite good in school. Like I do do well in school. And he's like, you're good in school. And, do you have other interests? I'm like, why are you asking me these questions? He's like, then don't go into radio. Don't do this. You're going to have a very hard life. There's very limited. We won't make much money. It'll be a tough road, and don't do it. This was his advice to me.
Yeah, I've heard the fucking money is dog shit. Like even if you're a station manager or something like that. It's like Howard Stern.
It definitely is.
It's like Howard Stern made all the money for everybody.
Pretty much. I mean, even like local, like even like I say like Jerry Forbes, right? You know that name from CJ92, Jerry Forbes. I think even he probably, and he's like well known, was pulling in, maybe $70K or something like that. You know what I mean? And that's like top. Like top dog, right? Top dog DJ. So yeah, he said don't do this. Anyway, so I've always had this interest. So I'm driving in the car for years, for years. I'd be driving in the car, talking along with the co-host, pretending like I'm on the radio. When I was a kid, even younger, I used to play with a little cassette player that could record your voice, and I would play part songs, and I would pretend I'm the DJ. I'd do that as a kid. So I've always wanted to do something like this, do something on the radio. And then I had two friends of mine, a friend of a friend, and someone I actually used to work with, and who didn't like the career that I'm in. He quit, went back to school, started volunteering, or had shows with CJSW. And I talked to them. I'm like, how the heck did you get into this? How did you get into this radio thing? What's going on? Like, well, it's a volunteer radio station, and you don't have to be a student. As long as you're part of the community and you're volunteering, they favor students during the day because the students' levies, the monies that the students pay, the levies that they pay, a portion of that goes to keeping the radio station running. So they definitely cater to the students, but you don't have to be a student to be part of CJSW. So I started volunteering there because I'm like, hey, this would be kind of cool if I could get myself on the radio. So honestly, wanting to do this in the first place was ego. It honestly was. It was because I had the dream of doing this when I was young. I'm like, oh, wouldn't that be cool? And it's volunteer. You don't get paid anything. But I'm like, I don't care. I have a job. I have a day job. Man, it would be fun just to get on the air and do something, right? Yeah. So I started volunteering, and I told myself, you know what? I'm going to volunteer. I'm going to put in the hours. I'm going to spend the time. I'm going to give this 2 years of solid volunteering, solid effort. And in that 2 years, if I see any potential that I could get a chance to be on the radio, then it'll be worth it. And then after 2 years, I would still be involved, but then I'd pull back a bit more. I would maybe just volunteer maybe once a month kind of thing, still be a member of the station and still be involved because I'm interested in it. But the kind of this really strong push to like really, really be involved, just to try to honestly to try to get it to get on the airwaves in some way. So my plan worked. I got very lucky. There was a show on CJSW, very well known show, still running now, but it'd been going on for 35 years, called Megawatt Mayhem.
Oh yeah,
Megawatt Mayhem.
Oh, know them well. Yeah, been on that show a few times.
Yes.
Yeah, JP's still
JP
running it.
Wood and JP still, yeah, and Kevin Warren. So Kevin was stepping down. So there's two guys. JP Wood. JP I've had on this show.
Cool.
He was on my third episode ever of the Wicked Wally webcast, and we talked about his board game and his history with metal, and we couldn't cover everything. That guy's done so much; it's incredible. So, anyways, we had JP, and so Kevin was quitting the show. He's hanging up his hat. Did it for 30 years. It was enough already. It's time to hang up the hat. So JP quit. Had a show after that as well. He continued to host. So he quit his later night show. Actually transformed that into Megawatt Mayhem.
Right.
So there was one less metal show, and there was also another metal show by Dark Agnes called. What was it called? Do you remember Dark Agnes from CGSW?
I know. It's just right at the tip there for me too.
Doom metal
No.
show. I can't.
Oh
No, that's not. Doom Without Wilt.
Yes.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
So she had a show as well. They both were quitting around the same time. This was about 8 months into my volunteer journey. And I was our funding drive, and I was talking to Dark Agnes, and I said I have this idea for a show. I called Rock Bottom. I already had everything kind of visualized. The way I visualized and planned this thing that you're seeing here, I had the same thing already in my head because I wanted to do something like that forever. So I'm like, yeah, this is my idea. I'm doing this, there's themes and all these kind of ideas. And she's like, dude, put in a proposal. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, just write an email, like. Put something in for put in a proposal to the music director, to the program coordinator. So I'm like, sure. So I wrote up this big long email, all these ideas I had, what I want to do, this vision. So then she wrote me back and she says, well, typically we get someone to fill out this form with their show proposal, but you've answered all my questions and more that I would have asked you on this thing.
Nice.
So, and she's like, you know what? Yeah. I it's basically the right place, the right time. Very lucky, and also like to have a radio station in town that allows you to be creative and play heavy metal music. Like really, I not only can I be on the radio, but I don't have to do a jazz show or something. I can actually play the kind of music I'm interested in. So
yeah, very cool, man.
Yeah, that's the story how I got involved, and then it ended up being an insane amount of work. So I 6 months down the road, it took over 6 months to bring in a co-host. About 2 months in, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to do this by myself. It's exhausting to do a 2-hour show every single week after midnight on a Monday. So I brought in a co-host, Laws. She's an Aussie expat, so she's still doing the show. So I strongly recommend checking out Rock Bottom on CGSW because she's still running it. She's doing a great job. She's running it solo now, so I'll give her a lot of credit for that. It's not easy. So brought her on, and I guess the rest is history. The biggest thing for me, though, I guess I'm sorry I'm talking. Maybe I should just...
It's okay. Please do.
It's okay. Okay. What I was going to say is the biggest surprise to me is, like, I did it for ego. I'll be honest with you. I did it because I want to be on the radio. I want to do this cool thing. It was such an amazing, wonderful surprise, and it gave me purpose. It wasn't just about me anymore. When I started having bands come on the show, when I started interviewing bands, when I started playing music from independent artists and lesser known talents, and the response was just overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm just some jackass that they put on the radio. I got lucky enough to be on the radio. And the response and the support and just from yourself as well, Nate, man, you've got me involved in so many cool things. You have done it. You have done that. And other people as well. I've gotten to be involved in so many amazing things outside of the radio and become part of this community. So it's like, okay, no, it's no longer just about me. It's like I felt like I had a responsibility at that point and a purpose, because it's like your purpose is to promote these bands. Your purpose is to allow these people, more people to know about these artists, and for them to be able to have an outlet to talk about their work that's taken seriously. Like we still have fun, but it's done in a professional way. Yeah. Right? There's not just them kind of like talking on a cell phone in an Instagram story or something. It's actually like a show. It's a production. It's a show, and people tune in and listen to it, and it's entertaining. It's kind of, it's like a commercial, I guess, but it serves a purpose. It actually serves like a legit purpose. So that was I had no idea. It was a huge surprise to me, and I didn't even know all about all the amazing music coming out of this independent scene, like like Calgary, Alberta, Western Canada. There's just so much amazing talent and music, and I knew about the big bands. I was the typical metalhead. I knew about all these big name bands. I didn't know anything about the independent scene, and it was a huge eye opener for me. And I'm like, yes, there needs to be people out there. Not. It's obviously not just me. It's this huge. It's just not huge, but this really tight knit community, and all these hardworking people like yourself that are passionate about it. Nate, you've put on. You've done a lot of different festivals. You've produced things. You put on events. A Vakken Metal Battle. You're part of organizing that. Guys like Jeff and Ryan from Loud as Hell. They put together these festivals, and I'm sure they're not making a ton of coin on that. I'm sure a lot of that is a passion project, right?
Oh, for sure.
So it's all these people that are collectively, helping grow and maintain this music scene and help these artists get at least a chance to be discovered and to make it bigger, to make it big and that kind of thing. So anyway,
yeah, no.
I could talk forever.
For sure. You brought up ego a couple times. And
Yeah.
like ego, it's like everything. It's like a double-edged sword, right? I mean, it's the people that have tons of ego but aren't aware of it that are really the problem. But it takes an ego to have a vision, like
Right.
you have to believe in yourself to go, this is what I see and this is what I want and this is what I'm doing. And, some people can't do that. So like, that sounds like that's kind of a common thread between, anybody. Like, it starts with ego. It's like, I want to be on the radio and do all this stuff. And, same thing with my show, right? I've been talking
Right.
about having this
Right.
forever. I had the podcast, whatever. It starts at ego, but that's what, as egotistical as it sounds, that's what gives you the idea. But it's merely just a platform to promote all the other people that have good ideas and want to put out art and do things. And so
True.
ego's only bad to me if it's malintended. But I don't see that with you, Wally.
No, I want everyone just to have fun. I want I want people watching the show to have fun. I want my guests to have fun. I want to have fun. I want my co-host to have a good time. And I want to, it's about having a good time and having fun. I don't want to be the jackass. I don't want to be the Howard Stern. That's not, I like teasing a bit. I like joking and teasing a bit.
Yeah,
but I don't want to be the jackass.
I had a lot of fun on there last night. So thanks a lot for having me.
That's good.
That was a good time. So,
speaking of ego, one thing I want to mention about ego is I had a huge debate over what I wanted to call my new show. That didn't come to me instantly. I knew I wanted to do something else when I was leaving radio and leaving Rock Bottom, but I didn't know what I wanted to call it. And I'm like, well, CJSW still has the name, and they want to still call it Rock Bottom. It has a sponsor. The sponsor has a contract with the name Rock Bottom. This is the show that they're being sponsored by.
Sure.
They wanted to keep that. So I'm like, you know what? That's okay. It's just a name. It's fine. But what else do I have? And I was like, should I call it Wicked Wally something? Because I'm like, is that ego again, right? I was like, is that kind of arrogant to call it the Wicked Wally Show or something like that? Yeah. But I'm like, you know what? If you Google Wicked Wally from a browser that's incognito, right? So it's on your own cookies messing up with the search. So you incognito, you Google Wicked Wally. The first search is some guy on Twitter, I don't know, and then everything else underneath is all this shit that I've done, like emceeing and interviews, and it's stuff I've done. So if someone looks up Wicked Wally, they're gonna find the stuff that I've done and the goodwill that I've built through the work I've done on my old show. So I'm like, I have to. That's the name I still have. Like, that's what I built was Wicked Wally. So
it's already
what it has to be.
Yeah, right? You already picked it and it's too late. You picked it long ago. Like, so this has to be that.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, right on. So when does you said Wednesdays at what time again does it air live everywhere.
Yeah, 7 p.m. Mountain, I guess 9 p.m. Eastern, and the show is live. So if anyone who's watching, we right now I'm streaming it to 3 places. So Twitch, YouTube. YouTube, by the way, we need more subscribers so we can get that custom URL. So whoever's watching this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Wicked Wally Webcast. Try to find it.
It's in the show notes.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
It's in the show notes.
Thank you.
I already have it there.
So please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe there, just so we can actually get the proper URL, because that's a lie right now that's down in the corner here. That's actually not true. It's wishful thinking. So please,
I see.
Please subscribe to our. Yeah. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. So it goes to Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, and it's live. So whoever's chatting, I read the comments. I there's questions. So if you want to ask our guest questions, you want to ask questions, you just want to have a fun comment. People are involved who are watching the show, and the reason I wanted to do that is because I did live radio.
Sure.
And there's just something so exciting about going on the air, and it's like we're live. Like there's people listening right now. You get that like nervous energy, and when I would do like pre-recorded episodes here and there on the old show, it just didn't have this. It just never ever captured the same level of energy and excitement. They were still okay, but it just wasn't the same. So I got to do something live if I'm going to do it again. And we had text to booth, so I'm like, this is like text to booth still. Like, if people are involved, people are part of the show. So it's like still having that element, and I really enjoyed that on the radio. So I wanted to bring that over to what I want to do after. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love that too. We try to do that as much as possible, but maybe more. I want to do more. We'll see.
It's a lot though, because you know what I mean. You're changing camera angles, you're playing footage, you're trying to pay attention and ask questions, and then you're trying to pay attention to the chat as well. I am so fortunate to have those 3 years on the radio, because that teaches you all that, because you have to multitask. There's so many things going on at once when you're doing the show, and you're trying to, you have guests and everything, live performances and all this shit going on at the same time. So it was very valuable experience. And that's why I can actually do this and make it look not too bad and pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. I had my buddy Chase. He was coming in and helping me out during the show, at least doing the video switching during the show and stuff. And we were building it up, but then, everything got locked down. So kind of stuck back to just everything remote again and just me. But well, hey man, I want to say it was really fun going on there. Your show is really well put together. Everybody go check out the Wicked Wally webcast every Wednesday at 7, you said?
Yeah.
7 here, 9 p.m.
7 p.m. 7 p.m. Mountain. Yep.
Cool. And all the links are in the description for all the places you can hit up Wally at. So go do that and subscribe and like.
Would you be okay with me airing a trailer?
Yeah.
Like a 2-minute thing?
Absolutely. No problem.
So I just want to give people a taste. This is some clips from earlier, from last year. So some of the more recent shows are getting even more polished, but it gives you kind of an idea what the show is like. So I'm going to see how this is going to work. Maybe you can put me full screen.
Okay. If this doesn't work, you can just send me the video and I'll edit it.
Okay. Awesome.
But yeah, let's do that.
We're doing the show live because the most important part of the show is not the studio we're in, it's you. We want to hear your questions, your feedback.
So good.
All right, so what's going on here? Jeff Loomis, he guest solos on Thunderbird. How do you know Jeff?
And I promised I would tease him about his tree trunk and would beat this up.
Oh, wow, okay.
So.
Oh, wow, this is brutal. The Dunker.
Almost.
Swing and a miss. Love you, Wally.
Yeah, because that's what you do when you break bones. You sing some tunes.
Like an axle of some sort.
Sure.
Propped on a pole. Which is one of the lyrics from the song.
I got me one for you. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Instead of a skull and crossbones, I got a...
Artist. Oh my god, this is cool. So the goal then of the pentagram is what, to get the center of the pentagram, or where are you going?
Go from there, and whoever gets to 666 points first wins.
Yes.
Double
Right
middle
after we
fingers.
filmed this, Jesse went to see Aqua at K-Days, and he didn't have time. And he was covered in cake. He said he was reaching up and like grabbing cake from behind his ear, and
Oh
my god.
Amazing.
Vito, is that your first time
That's
watching
the first
that?
time watching it.
Oh my god, dude. And there you go.
Nice. Yeah. That Vito guy had an awesome mustache.
Yeah, man. He actually trimmed it recently and cut his hair, but he's still got a pretty epic mustache.
Hilarious. Well, am I missing anything? Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so. I think thanks so much for having me on your show as well, Nate. I really appreciate it. Giving me a chance to reach out to your listeners and show what I'm doing as well. And I hope we can collaborate more in the future. Honestly, we both have similar positive egos that we shouldn't be ashamed of. So we can. Yeah, I would love to continue to work together and just help promote. I mean, you promote all kinds of stuff on your show. It's not just music, but I know you're also a big lover of the metal scene. So
absolutely,
I'd love to collaborate more in the future, man. You've got it, and plus you've got a hilarious show. I really enjoy it. I enjoy your show quite a bit. All the segments and kind of weird shit kind of throws you off. It's entertaining. It's really entertaining. You do a great job. So
cheers.
Keep it up, man.
Yeah, you too. I'm just trying to screw with people, on Friday night. And fucking A, if we can help each other put out more content for the people, I'm all down with that at any time. So
that's awesome, Nate. I'm glad to hear it.
All right. Well, thanks for your time, man. Peace. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. All right. Thanks to Wally. I believe I'm live. Yeah, I'm unmuted. All right. Thanks so much, Wally. That was a real pleasure. Good interview. Thanks for coming on the show. So I'm thinking of doing Nate's Memes of the Week right now, but I'm drinking like a schoolgirl. I think I'm confident I could pull it off, but I'm not going to do it if nobody wants to see it. So people in the chat have to do something now. They have to say yay. They have to go Nate's Memes of the Week all together, all at once. You either want to see the memes or we can just hang up the phone and we can move on. Okay, well, Wally. We need one more besides Wally. Okay, all right, Craig. You put me over. Okay. Thanks again to both my guests tonight. Wally of the Wicked Wally Webcast. Go check that out. I really had so much fun on his show. He is more live than me. I am envious of his amount of liveness. And go check out Sam Walker too. So Okay, I gotta test something. I gotta do testy poo. I already tested it 5 times today, but I need to make sure it's gonna work. And that this thing, okay. Whoa. See, it's slow, right? Slow. Okay, we're gonna go back here for a second. Cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well out there. Oh, see? Okay. Oh. All right. It's working good now. Okay. So this is, oh, I know what's going on here. I got to hit this. There we go. That's why. And then that's going away. Okay. So this is my Facebook profile. Friend me. I may or may not. If I have no idea who you are, I might not answer. But yeah, okay. So friend me. There's a bigger expansion of my profile picture. It's coming up on the 1 year of that. Look at that. Okay, I'm not gonna, oh, hold on a second. Sheesh. Wait a second. This is ridiculous. Drunken memes of the week. Okay. So yeah, here we go. This is my profile, friend me, maybe. There we go. All right, so I'm not going to say this out loud because of algorithms, but just have a look at that for a second. Worst by 6 days ago. This is literally just the good memes of the last week. I cut a couple out because, you know, whatever. But yeah, this is a bit of mine, my profile, screenshots of my profile. Okay, here we go. Food in places it shouldn't be. A lot of guacamole there. And, yeah, Smash Mouth. Okay. Right, okay. Food in places it shouldn't be. Stay safe, yeah. See, that was my logic here, is if you made this into a full sandwich, then you'd really be protected. Snickles. This was, it was polarizing. People were mad about this. This stuff like this makes people uncomfortable. It's funny to me. Colorful egg Canadian currency. Colorful Canadian currency. An egg. It's like that could be the $5 coin. Zing. Okay, this is one of my favorite gripping food with forces. I actually brought this up on Wally's show. Here you go. Heinz Mayonnaise saucy sauce. Too much. All right, yeah, see, and somebody, I don't have them quoted, but that is cutting edge technology. Just serrate it. Oh, this too. This is the other really. See, Wally, at least this isn't wasting food. That was Wally was saying he doesn't like the food things because he's really against wasting food, which is actually, I've been thinking about that, and you're right, man. Like, I don't dig that either. Finally, some delicious food. It's amazing to think what great and exciting things people would be doing with PCs in 30 years. Old Bill Gates. Oh, whoops, sorry. Danny Dorito 2021. Oh, topical. Topical. Is Fred Durst running that state, or what's going on down there? Sister Act. I think Joe Biden and every news anchor in Rochester is a Martian from Mars Attacks. Important images. This is an important image. This bit would not go over to a podcast well. Food in places it shouldn't be. Craftmatic adjustable burritos. The most delicious night's sleep you'll ever have. Too funny. Shout out to Nancy. She does Catter Day, and cute. Nancy is an integral part of this show. Yeah. Gotta do the cute cats too. Also an important image. Speaking of cats. When my cat gets old, I feel like it's gonna do this. Oh, squatting Slavs in tracksuits. Frying bologna. Good times. On the left, I was wondering, yeah, it looked like a black coin. I was like, where has black coins? Squatting Slavs in tracksuits. More food in places it shouldn't be. Yeah, this is food waste. You never know, though. Those could be expired. I hope so. Important image. Got my mixtape right here. In stereo. Waste of bread. This just speaks for itself. I want to go to an art gallery and see this hanging in the fucking corner. I'm lagging, Craig. Oh, this was a new one I found out about this week. Kanye metal quotes. Quote. Everybody fucking loves that dude who carved Slayer into his arm. But when I carved Linkin Park into mine, nobody gave a fuck. Go check that page out. It's hilarious. Right. This is the one where Wally and I talked about it on a show, and then I immediately tagged him in this because it's just wasteful food. And I think his comment was fuck off. Which is rightfully so. Here we go. Another Kanye metal quote. Lars brings the same power and precision to the drums as he does on the tennis court. Too funny. Be safe. Keep your hands safe, everybody. It's important. My Chemical Ramen. It's funny because nobody likes these, and that's good. I started a show where I'm gonna force you people to watch this. This has made people mad. There's people still. I don't know why they started posting all the names of these people that posted in there. I guess because they're public. Oh, this is. Why did I go away? Food in places it shouldn't be. Is that butter? No, it's Stonehenge. Can't believe it's not butter. I hope this butter is spoiled as well. That seems like a waste of butter. Feeling uncomfortable. We're getting into like yesterday and today now. Dude, I saw this morning. Trust me, this hits me so hard in the feels right now. It's too funny. Coca-Coleslaw. Just uncomfortable. Look at that. Ugh. We're getting close to the end here. Food in places shouldn't be. Twix Italian. Yeah, I saw this and I was like, I haven't had a fake mozzarella stick in 3 years. I don't know. That's an important image. There we go. So that was... Nick's Memes of the Week. All right, everybody. It's staticky. Look, I'm all staticky. That's what happened. I don't know if you saw we were talking about the fluff that was on my head before. Anyways, I hope you had a good time tonight. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for everybody in the chat. Tell your friends. Tell a friend. Drag a virtual friend over to my Weird AI show. I think they're going to start getting better. They're getting easier. So, thanks to all you hardcores that have been watching forever. And it's really fun to do this. And, sorry. Hopefully, Moon Griffin is still in the chat there. Because, watch these credits with his music behind it. See you next week, everybody. Cheers. Peace.